Hello scrappers and planet lovers, Tin Man here with another video. So today what I want to do is take apart one of these electric baseboard heaters. I found them both at a house renovation project. They are heavily corroded and don't work. And the nice thing about one of these is they are 100% scrappable material. The whole outer frame is made out of steel. And there's aluminum in there and copper. So what I want to do today is I'm going to take it apart for you, show you how to identify the material, how to separate it properly, and more importantly, how to maximize your profit and divert the entire thing away from the landfill. So here we go. For the sake of this video, I do, as you can see, have two of them. The one in the back here is very large. It's about 6 feet across. And I'm going to focus on the smaller one, but I do have a couple parts that I've taken out of the larger one just to show you some of the differences. The larger one has a really nice dial, as you can see here, and this dial is going to have some brass in it and some silver contacts as well. It has a really nice copper tube here and some wiring, so I will look at this in a bit, but I also, for the sake of this video, have pulled off the protective cover plate, and very simple to do. All you do is put a flathead screwdriver in the side here, pry it up, and it comes right off. So this right here would go into my tin pile or shred, and the nice thing about tin and shred is right now in Canada, it's going for $259 a ton, which is unbelievable. I've never seen it at those prices, so that's great. Obviously, the other faceplate is a lot larger, but inside it does reveal a nice aluminum grill. There is some copper wire. There is some clean copper tubing or pipe. So, gonna get to it right now. The first thing I want to do is, first of all, put on my safety glasses and gloves. Whenever you deal with these types of thin aluminum fins, they do get sharp, just like your copper aluminum radiators that you find in dehumidifiers and air conditioners. They are very, very sharp, so you want to make sure you cut down your chances of getting cut. So that is the first thing. Also, down the side of it, there is a really nice copper pipe or copper wire that was just held in with anchors, so I've just popped that out and I need to cut it. I need my cutters. Somewhere underneath this heap of scrap. There they are. So just, and then I'm going to remove it. So this is a nice piece of copper. This would go for number 1 copper right now. Number 1 copper in Canada right now is $4.85 Canadian, which is awesome. So nice piece here. It's definitely not a pound, but it definitely adds up. As well, if I remove the control panel plate, there is some nice clean brass there. There is some wire as well. And I'm just going to cut a piece of that wire out to show you. Okay, and slide it out. Okay, in Canada, this copper wire we've got, this is the interior wire. If you look inside, it is copper. Some of the wire could be aluminum, but given the age of this, it's going to be copper. And this would go as 40% copper, or sorry, 60% copper recovery. So I just want to show you this, as well as the electrical wire that you get here, the Romex wire, the difference between the two. So this plugs into your outlet. That's why it's an electric heater. And the difference between these two is in Canada, this would go for 40% copper recovery, and this would go for 60% as is. And what scrapyards look at is plastic to copper ratio, or copper recovery. Because this wire, if you look inside there, it has 3 strands of copper. There is an outer coating, and this stuff is really neat stuff. This is called NMD7, so this was put in your 80s and 70s. It's almost got like a weird paperish fiber mesh, as well as it's got, what is this stuff called? Sorry, some like paper wired or wrapped around the wires. There is 3 wires in there. The middle one is a nice clean bare bright, and the other 2 have an additional plastic coating around the 2 wires. Because this has an outer coating of plastic as well as the two inner, there is more plastic, less copper. So this would be 40% copper recovery, and this right now is going for $1.28 a pound Canadian. This one, because it just has single strand and one coating of wire, there's more copper. So this would be put into 60% copper recovery, which is going for $1.82 a pound. So that's really nice. This one, however, I will definitely take the time to strip this. This is really nice copper thick wire. Very easy. I have a stripper at home. I would put it through, cut out the outer wire. The middle wire will be already Bare Bright clean. And Bare Bright right now is going for $4.95 Canadian a pound. And in order to classify as Bare Bright, the wire has to be the shiny penny look. It only pertains to copper wire, so no tubing is Bare Bright. But the thickness of the wire is what matters. It has to be thicker than 16 gauge, which is the thickness of the lead of a pencil. The other two wires there, they are thick. I will definitely throw those in my stripper as well. And I will get Bare Bright for them as well, because I guarantee they're Bare Bright. If not, if they are tarnished at all, they will go into my number 1, which is still great at $4.85 a pound. But at least just removing the outer coating, I'm gonna up it from $1.28 to $1.82. So it's very well worth it. So this is your Romex wire. Moving on, there is still a little bit of wiring in here that I'm gonna get. And if I've already cut this. This is your thicker wire. I'm gonna strip that. I do wanna make sure I pull the plugs off. The plugs do have some metal in it, so I do throw those into my steel pile. There is also a little bit of wire here. The heating coil is buckled down. I've already removed the frame. This is just screwed down to the frame, and it was also held in with just a piece of plastic that I broke. So I'm just gonna remove this, put my safety glasses on. Okay, and the rest of this frame is going to be, once I take the copper off and some of the brass screws, going into my steel pile. This is about 7 pounds of steel, which is nice. The other one behind me, this one right here, I'm just gonna turn the camera here. This, as I said, is about a 6-foot long baseboard. And there is a little bit of difference. So I wanna talk about the makeup of these two. You can see on this one, there is my copper wire that goes all the way across. Just pulling it up right now. So nice copper wire here. Okay, and the difference between these two, this one and this smaller one, is you have to look at inside of this. I cannot bring these in as clean aluminum as is, because if I put a magnet to the end of it, I'm just gonna get the magnet here. It's got some screws on it. So the cap was this, and if I put a magnet to it, you can see that it sticks. And that's because inside of these tubes, there is a heating coil. And these heating coils, to put it to improve into your imagination or comparison, it's your heating coils that you see on stoves, and they, excuse me, or hot plates. They are, excuse me, magnetic. There is some steel inside. The wiring is metal. So unfortunately, this tube is not going to go as clean aluminum. These fins, however, excuse me, I do want to take the time and take those off, because they are clean aluminum, and they would go for right now 40 cents a pound, which is great. And just to show you how easy it is, I'm just going to take a pair of tin snippers here, and I'm just going to show you, just right in front of you. I got 2 in front of me. Just going to take this, just going to cut it, okay? And I'm going to take a pair of pliers. I'm just going to bend it. You see that there? And as you can see, there it is. So this is clean aluminum. Now, I could do this all the way down. It would be time consuming. But the other thing that I've noticed is if I took a Sawzall with a metal blade, so if I just took one of these and I went down the side, it's going to just loosen the top part off, and then I could just pull them off. So I'm going to try that for you. Just very simple. I'm not going to do the whole way. At first, I thought once I removed the caps from the tube, it was going to, the heating elements were going to slide out. Unfortunately, they won't. This one, as you can see inside there, the wire is all the way through, and there's like, I want to call it, like, I call it cement mix. It's not, it's some type of dust or coating that they put in there that's very breakable, it comes off. So I don't want to be playing with that. I do also want to show you nice clean brass prong there. I will cut the wire off. I usually put this clean brass into my brass buckets, the prongs there. Brass right now is going for $2.85 Canadian, which is great. I always save up my plug ends. Some people leave them on for the weight, so it's entirely up to you. But here we go. I'm going to try this for you. Excuse me. So I just got it. Just going to slide it across. Hopefully it works. Okay, so it definitely does. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to put this into my vise a little bit better. But as you can see, look at that. There it comes. Obviously, once I secure it better, it will go better, but it does work. So I could just slide it right across and just pull up these pieces of aluminum. And someone might say to me, it's not worth it. It's entirely up to you. It won't take me that much time. Aluminum is very thin, but as I said, the difference, if I was to hold this as is with the element inside is probably 3 pounds, 4 pounds maybe. But I will only get dirty aluminum price, which is about 5 cents a pound. So I think it's worth it. As I said, and then what I will do is this bar, I will put into my dirty aluminum. So I'll still get the price for the bar. So I'm not wasting any money, just maybe a little bit of time, but it's entirely up to you. Or, as I said, I can go back to my traditional method with just my tin snippers, which I actually don't mind. Very simple, very easy, and actually kind of therapeutic. There we go, look at that. So there's some more aluminum. So that's perfect. So there we go. Make sure you clean that off. The last thing I want to look at is, as promised, the dial from here. Really nice piece of copper. The little one did not have this on there, but the big one does, which is awesome because this copper, with the tarnish on there, would go as number 2. It's very tarnished, but all I would do is actually just clean it up. I have a video putting it in even vinegar solution. It will clean off the rust off that, or sometimes I'll just take sandpaper and upgrade it to number 1, and it's very easy to do. I do want to make sure I take the soldering off, so any soldering will automatically make it number 2, so you do want to cut that part off, put the soldering part into your number 2, put the rest of this into your number 1. The dial here, just going to pull it out. It's got a couple screws. Going to get those screws out. Oh, I need the ring rubbing now. So different size screws, that's okay. So just on the bottom, as you can see, very well worn electric heater. I always love these at the schools. They work very well. You know, but obviously we are kind of getting away from those because electricity is expensive. And we have more higher efficient models now with heat. So here is my dial. There is some really nice clean brass. I'm just going to actually pop the top off of here with a hammer. And there are 2 screws. Actually, I'm just going to pull the screws out first. There we go. There's a different smell going on in there. A little bit of smell going. And that's fine. You know, I've got a well-ventilated garage here. But I want to pull the cap off. And I'm just going to actually speed up it. Just going to hit the plastic with a hammer. That's some really nice brass that's going to go into my brass. But put it on my vise and just going to break the plastic. Okay, so inside, there you go. You can see it. I'm going to rip this out a little bit later. But inside, you can see, I'll take my my hand out. Those dots right there are actually silver. There is some brass in there as well that's on the dial there, but those are silver contacts. And if I showed you, I love talking about silver contacts, by the way. Free silver. I actually have a really popular video talking about places to get silver, but that is a silver contact. I just cut those off. I'll store them up into a vial, and one day I will hit it with nitric acid, get the silver off, and I'm hoping to make a silver bullion. But there is some silver in there. As well, there is, where did I just put it? The whole thing, oh, there it is. There is inside as well, there will be a little bit more brass, but definitely a little bit of copper as well, but the rest of this will go into steel. Okay, and as I said, make sure that I get the rest of this copper off. Other than that, this big frame here, this weighs probably a good 7 to 10 pounds, so that's gonna be good. I'm hoping it goes in my car. I might have to cut it into two, we'll see. But really good scrapable item, your electric baseboard heaters. Don't find them a lot, but when I do, it's great because they are 100% scrapable material. There's a lot of nice copper, aluminum, steel, and more importantly for all of us, no waste to go into the landfill. Hope you enjoyed that video. Please comment down below, like, share, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Tin Man out.